So let's discuss about the basic data structure, which is list commands, different list commands. Let's discuss it. So now we can have a look over it. So the very first command, what we are trying to do, if you are able to see, so I'm trying to create the particular, I can say it as I'm trying to create an empty list. So you can see there are no values. So in order to create any list, so we are using empty square braces. If you are using empty square braces, we can say we are trying to create a list. So after writing this line, don't remember to execute this command. You need to use run. So now whenever you are using this select this particular cell, and I'm just trying to say run. So now I'm running this particular line, so the particular code is executed. Now when you are able to look on to the second line, so now what I'm trying to do is in this particular empty list, so I'm trying to add three values. So the values are called as here, the three values are 1, so another value is 2, and another value is your 3. So now it's whenever we are trying to get into Python, we need to remember storing the data. So now we are calling it as list is called as an inbuilt data structure. So now let's take an example like an Excel. So whenever you are going to Excel, the purpose is not only just to create the data, but even to access it. So now I'm storing the data, I need to access it. So how I'm able to access the data in my list is I will be able to store the data with indexing. So the indexing is always starting from 0 to n-1. So the index position is 0, 1 and the 2. So this is called as positive indexing. So there is another way of indexing as well. We call it as negative indexing. So what is negative indexing is now already, so it is allocated like if you are able to go for your Python, we can write it like this. So this is your my list. My, what is the name, underscore list. So I'm able to create three boxes. So this is index position 0, index position 1 and index position 2. So these are the overall index positions. So in this particular index, I'm trying to store the values like what is the value? I'm storing value 1, I'm storing value 2 and I'm storing value 3. So this is called as your positive indexing. So the index is starting from 0, 1, 2. Now let me write down the negative index. So the negative index starts from left to right, means like this is your left side, or right side to the left side. So or we can say top to the bottom. So it starts with -1, -2, -3. So now positive indexing is ranging from 0 to n-1, and whereas your negative indexing is starting from -1 to -n. Now if you want to access, I want to access this particular position or this value called as 1, then I need to write down the code, or I need to write down my list. Remember, your Python is case sensitive. So you are writing my list. So in order to get into the data, means like I want to access the data. So in order to define a data, you are using this command my underscore list equal to 1, 2, 3. But if you want to access the data, then you need to use square braces. Square braces. So which index position you are trying to access? I want to access index position 1. So go to my list. In that, what is index position? This is index position. So now it's going to give us the output 2. So either you can give my underscore list of 1, or you can give my underscore list of -2 as well. Any of the way it's going to work. So now let me get into it. Let me scroll this a bit. Now if you are able to look on, I just created my list, and every value is stored with an index positions 0 to n-1. And here you can see I created the same my list. So now if you are able to see, I'm using the same variable name my underscore list. So you call this my underscore list, we can say this as, we can give this name as identifier. So ID, I'm making it as identifier. So what exactly meant by an identifier is, so if you are able to give a unique name, so the example in our day-to-day life, what is an identifier is the folder name which you are able to see it in your system, we call it as an identifier, or the name you give it to your image, identifier. So the unique name which is easy for you to recall it or just to access it, we call it as an identifier. So now here my list is an identifier. Same like in your system, if you are using same name, and if you are trying to create multiple files or multiple, for example, you created an image name with the same name like Kant, I created another image also Kant. So it's going to say, hey, already Kant.jpg is present, shall I replace it? So now whenever you are using this, now inside my list I stored 1, 2, 3. Now into the same my list I'm passing 1, hello 3.4. What exactly your Python going to do is it going to overwrite, means it going to replace all the values with 1, 2, 3. Now the index positions going to be 0 for 1 and 1 going to be hello and the 3.4 going to be 2. And again, if you are able to look on, now you are able to see hello. Again, this hello is stored inside your Python as a character. So each letter inside your hello is called as character. Again, each letter is stored as 0, again E 1, again L 2, again another L3, again another O 4. In this way, we are able to have the indexing. Now, if I want to access the element, let me just get into this. If you are able to look on, now you can see my underscore list. So my underscore list of 1. So now if you are able to store it like the same format which we have it, now let us create one more box. So 0, 1, 2. And the position is going to be, so here it is 1 and this is your hello and this is 3.4. So now when I'm giving my underscore list of 1, it is able to print me the position hello. So it is able to print me this particular position called as hello. So now if you are able to look on what exactly I'm trying to do, so go to my list. In that first position, so what is first position? Hello. And in that colon 2, so always colon 2 represents from the starting. So if you are able to take this hello, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0 till 2. So what is the position? 0, 1, 2. This is the index position. So up to 2, this is not included, only HE is printed. We are able to see it. So now colon 2, colon, for example, we have few commands here. So if you are able to use colon 2, so what exactly colon 2 represents? It starts from starting up to second position. If you are able to write it as 2 colon, so from second position till the last values. If you are able to give only colon, it is able to get you all the values. So that's how you are able to use it. So colon 2 from the starting up to position 2. 2 colon, it is able to take it from the second position to all the values, and you are able to see only colon is used to print all the values within your list. So that's how we are able to get into it. Now again, if you are able to scroll, again what I'm trying to do, my list 1 of 2. So now I'm going with, if you are able to take hello, if you are able to take this letter, this is the character we stored, this is hello, this is at a position we stored it at first position. So this is 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now if you are able, I want to access position 2. So 0, 1, 2, this is your position which is L. So it is able to give me the output called as L. Now in this way, we are able to get into this my list. So we are able to access the elements within the string and we can get into the data. Now again, if you are able to scroll, I'm doing here, if you see, this is called as a nested list. So now we created only one list and now we are trying to create a nested list. What is a nested list? Is list inside a list. So now this is mouse is a list. How the index values for this list going to vary is, so now here the index position starts with 0, 1, 2. So this is 0th index, first index, second index. So now within this, again, now this is your nested list. Again within 1, this is 0, 1, 2. And within 2, this is again 0th index. So in this way, we are able to access. Now, if I want to access element 4, so now what is the command? So my list, my underscore list. So I want to access element 4. So first I want to go with first index position. So in this index, again I want to access the first position. So now 1 and 1. So now you are going to the first position 0, 1. So I'm going into 8, 4, 6. In that I want to access the first value. So it is my list 1 of 1. So in this way you can access. Now when I'm provided my underscore list 1 of 2. So go to first index position, in that index 2. So now which is going to give me the output called as 6. So now if you are able to look on to this particular command, this one, my list 1 of 2 is equal to 40. So now the position, what is 1 of 2? It is 6. So I'm replacing that value with 40. So we call this property as mutable property. So now we all are aware of it. So list is having one of the property, we call it as mutable property. What exactly meant by mutable property? You are able to replace the values within a list. So we call that property as a mutable property. You can see here I'm able to replace the value when I'm executing. Let me just execute this command. When I'm trying to execute the command, it is throwing me with an index, list index out of range. So I haven't executed this command. Let me execute this. So this my list is executed. Now let me go back to this line and let me execute it. So it got replaced. So now let me check it whether it seriously replaced the value or not. Let me run it. So when I'm running, it is able to replace print my list. It is able to print me the my list. It is able to print me my list of 0th index mouse. It is able to print me again my list 1 of 2. It got replaced with 40. You can see here. So wherever there is a my list, it got replaced with the 6th position, got replaced with 40. So in this way, we are able to perform mutable operations within the list commands. So again, let us go back. So again, if you are able to see, now we are trying to discuss about my underscore list. I created all strings. And again, you can see I'm performing index operation, 2nd position. And again, if you are able to see, I'm trying to pick the values from 2nd position to 5th position. So what is the 2nd position? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2nd position is O till 5. So means 5 is not included. So whenever you're giving the index 2 to 5, 5 is not included. So that's the reason it is giving O. GR is trying to give us. So now in this way, I'm able to go with my indexing at a range of interval based indexing I'm doing. Again, I'm here, if you see, I'm replacing the values. So now there is odd of 0, where exactly I'm replacing that first position with 1. And I'm just printing the values 1, 4, 6, 8. If you are able to see 1 to 4 positions, I'm trying to replace with the values 3, 5, 7. And I'm just trying to print. So you are able to see this. The values got replaced with 1, 3, 5, 7. Now again, after replacing the values, if you see, there is a command called as append command. So the purpose of append command is basically to add one value at a time. So let me just execute this commands for the sake of trying. Let me just execute this. Again, let me replace the positions. Let me print it. Yes, it got replaced. Again, I'm replacing those positions with 3, 5, 7. Let me print it. Yes, even it got. Now here I'm just trying to correct it. So I want to take only position, only value. I just want to add only one value at a time. So append of 9. So let me execute odd. So now you can see when I'm using append, it is able to add the one value. So append command purpose is to add one value at a time. It's going to add it to the last. Let's imagine if I'm trying to add two values at a time. So let me just say comma. Sorry, I'm unable to find the comma here. So in order to go replace with comma, I think what we can do is let me use system. So I just want to use comma here. So let me just place comma and let me go with the braces. So I just placed it. Let me place 9 comma and I want to place the number 10. So now when I'm trying to place it, let me execute this piece of code. It is throwing me with an error, list append exactly one argument. It is able to take only one argument at a time. It is unable to take two values. So it is throwing me with an error. Let me try. In order to add more than one value at a time, there is one more command within the list. We call it as extend. So let me just try. Let me execute extend. Yes, we added more than one value, 11, 13, 15. And let me print it. When I'm able to print the values, it is able to add. Extend is used in order to add more than one value, whereas append is used to add one value at a time. But if you see the syntax, they use the square braces. I got an idea. Why can't I use a square braces here? You can give it a try and you can test it whether it is creating a nested list or is it just adding the two values to an existing list. You can just give a try of it by adding a square braces to that above command. And again, now we learned about how to add the values. Now let's understand about how to delete it. Now if you are able to look onto this, I'm just trying to create one more list called as problem. I want to delete second position. Let me just run this, and I want to delete second index. So now the second index O got deleted. That's what we can see here. Now I want to delete the index positions 1 to 15. When I'm looking on, yes, it got removed and we got only 2 positions. And I want to delete the entire list. So with the help of delete, I'm able to delete entire list. It is throwing me with an error. Name ylist is not defined. So we deleted entire list. And if you are able to look on to this remove command, so the difference between a delete and a remove is delete is used with respect to the indexes, whereas remove is used with the values. If you are able to see, I'm removing the particular value P, I'm just trying to remove. So if you want to delete a value with respect to index, use delete. If you want to remove a value with respect to your particular element itself, you can use a remove command. Now in the similar way, like we discussed about delete and what is that, remove, now we need to discuss about pop commands. Let me just we can see where exactly the pop commands are highly used. So pop commands, so for example, let's take our phone notifications. We can take it as a list 0, 1, 2, 3 and the 4. So let me write down the index positions. So the index positions going to be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the index positions. Let's imagine you got a notification at 7:30 a.m. So now you got a notification from SMS. You got SMS notification. So at 7:40 you got Insta notification, and you got a Gmail notification at 8. You got Amazon notification at 8:20. You got FB notification at 8:30. So now the index position starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now this is like, if you say, we can say append command. So this list can be like notifications. I'm saying it as notifications dot append. So by using append, I'm using SMS, or I'm appending Insta. In this way I can append it. Now I want to view my notification. So my fresh means like the notification which got very what is that, old, means like at 7:30 a.m. is in the last. So in order to view this, first I want to view my FB notification. So to view it, I will be using a command called as, I'm not called this as notification. So notification dot pop. So by using this pop command, it's going to send the last in first out. So what is here last in? So it is in a format of LIFO. So last in first out. So now the first note, the last in what is the notification which I got it at 8:30, the early time is Facebook. So that going to be viewed first. Once I viewed it, next I will be viewing Amazon. Next I will be viewing Gmail, and next I will be going with Insta, next SMS. So finally your entire list going to be 0. So if you are able to look at this command, so now let me just see this. Let me just correct it. Let me use only a pop and let me run it. So now you are able to see in the problem, the last one is M. So that M is there, it is able to print M. Let me see what is there inside my list. So now you can see ROBLE. So now M is not there, it's send it. Again, let me run the pop command one more time. It is E. Again, let me print it. So E got removed. Again, let me run the pop command L. So again, let me run this. Again L got removed. Again let me run this. Yes, B got removed. Again let me run my list. Again B also got removed. Again let me run this pop command. So it's O. Again if I look on to my list, O got removed. Again let me run this, R got printed, means last notification. Again let me run my list, it's an empty list. Now again let me try to run it. It throws me with an error. From my list there is no value left in order to run it. That's the kind of message we got it. So with the help of pop, mostly pop is used in data structures and algorithms in lines of stack operations. So in order to append the values, in order to send the values outside. So when you are learning data structures and algorithms, you will be knowing more about pop and append based commands. So now let me scroll. Now here pop command is used. With the pop you can use a index position as well, like you can pass 1 or 2. You can use it like a delete. It's the same pop command, that particular index going to be removed. So now you have a clear command. Purpose is to clear all the values. Delete command is to delete the list. Clear is to make your list an empty list. Now let me use this command. I got 381684. I created a list. By using reverse, it's just going to reverse my particular list. There is nothing, it's not doing ascending order or a descending order, just it is trying to reverse it. And if you are able to look on, so I got my list. So my list dot index 8. So the purpose of index 8 is it is trying to give the position of index 8, the first occurrence. So now if you are able to look on to the my list, what is the first occurrence of 8? It is the first position. That's what it printed. So it is trying to give me the count, how many times 8 repeated. 8 repeated 2 times. If you are able to see 8 and 8, it is able to give me that count of it. So now if by using sort command, it is able to make your data ascending order, or by using your reverse equal to, means you are sorting into ascending order. By doing a reverse, you are able to get the data in a descending order. If you want, let us just give a try. I haven't tried executed all this. You can just give a try of this command so you can see it. Now this is whatever we are looking here, this is comes into your if statement. Let me just explain this if statement. So my list if is a conditional statement basically. So what exactly a conditional statement is, you are trying to check. So if iPhone in my list, what is my list here? If you are able to look on to this command, what is my list? So this is my list. In my list you have 3 elements: iPhone, Samsung and MI. So if iPhone in my list, so now this iPhone present in my list, the answer is true. So now if it is true, then you need to run this condition. So now in order to write any if statement, so now first you are starting it with the if, and after if you are trying to use that condition, whatever the condition you want to give. In my case, my condition is I want to check whether iPhone is present. Where the iPhone need to be present? Is it present in a folder which is called as my list? As it is present. So what exactly it is doing? If it is present, so if statement always goes, you are trying to give a condition. If it is present, what to be done? So what exactly it is doing? Yes, iPhone is present in my phones, so it is just printing that particular piece of code. So now that's how you are able to go with your if statements. We will be discussing more about if statements in upcoming classes, no need to worry. And again, if you are able to look on to this my list, iPhone, Samsung, MI, what exactly we are doing? My underscore list dot insert of 2, so pixel. What exactly we are trying to do? Now if you are able to look on, so now the index position starts from 0, 1, 2. So I want to insert pixel at a position 2. Now 0, 1, 2. So at this position I want to insert pixel. So now your overall value, iPhone, Samsung, pixel, and the third position went for your MI. So in this way we can use the insert command in order to insert a value at a specific position. So if comes into a category conditional statements. So now whenever you are getting into for this is a loop, means like in order to do a task for 10 times, for example, now I want to do the same class for 10 times, I can go for a loop. Or every day I want to do the same work, it's a loop. So if you are stuck up in one regular same activity, it is called as a loop. So what I'm trying to do, my list contains 3 phones, iPhone, Samsung and Empire, for X. So this value can be anything. So it can be your X, or it can be I, it can be J, it can be any name, it can be your name as well. So for X in my list, print X. So now what exactly this for loop going to do? It's going to take one value at a time. So for X, so now this X going to be iPhone. So if for iPhone in my list, print iPhone. So for Samsung in my list, print Samsung. For MI in my list, print MI. So in this way, it is able to run the loop. So now if you want to run a loop without any condition, you go for a for loop. So until, for example, if there are 100 values, in order to perform a logic for 100 times, you can use a for loop. So now my goal is not my goal is loop itself, but I want to conduct a loop, or I want to run a loop based on a condition, then you go with while loop. So now if you are able to see my list, iPhone, Samsung, Pixel, MI, I equal to 1. I started with some X value, which is I equal to some 1. So now while I is less than length of my list, so now here I is 1. So what is length of my list? So it is 1. So length of my list is there are 4 values. So 1, is it less than 4? Yes. So now then what I need to do? Print I. What is I here? It is 1. So what is 1? It is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So it is printing Samsung. So after printing Samsung, what you need to do? I equal to I plus 1. So 1 plus 1. So what is your new I value? It is 2. So 2, is it less than 4? Yes. 2 is also less than 4. Then again print my list of 2. So now what exactly my list of 2 going to be? It is pixel. So again after printing pixel, again what you need to do? 2 plus 1. So now here I is 3. So again 3, is it less than 4? Yes. Again print my list 3. Again this mi is also executed. Again now 3 plus 1, the 4. So 4, is it less than 4? Not exactly. So break the loop. So now once the condition is not meeting, it going to stop the loop. Until the condition is met, the while loop going to run it. So once the condition is failing, it may not run the loop. So if you want to use a condition for your loop, it's a while. If you don't want to use any condition, and if you want to run n number of times, it's your for loop. So in the similar way, I'm just trying to create fruits, apple, banana, cherry, kiwi. I want to create I created one empty list. So for x in fruits, if x in x, so what is a in x? So here if a is present inside x, so now here for x in fruits, what is x here? Apple. So let me explain. So I want to create a new list, which is a new list. I want to create it based on the logic which I have written here. So what is the logic I have written for x in fruits? What is x? The very first position is apple. So now for x in fruits, now it is apple. If a in x, so now a, is it present in apple? It is present. The condition is true. Then append the value to the new list. So now the value going to be added, apple is added. So again after doing it, again it's a for loop. Now what is your x going to be? Your x is banana. So now again a in banana, yes it's present, banana is also added. So again x going to be cherry. So now a is there in cherry? Not exactly. So cherry is not added. Kiwi, it's not there, a is not there, so it's not added. Again when you are going to mango, so in the mango even a is present, so even mango is also added to your my list. So the new list going to have apple, banana and your mango. So now we can say when you are adding the values into a list, with the help of this append command, we can call it as list comprehension. So with the help of this for loop, with the help of this append command, with the help of if statements, I'm able to do list comprehension. So where I'm creating a new list with the help of for loop and an append command and if statement as well. So we need to use the right command based on the task which we are trying to perform. So if statements, while loop, for loop, user defined commands, which we discuss in upcoming classes, they are meant to create lot of customization. Means whatever the task you are trying to achieve it with the regular Python commands, you can't achieve all. So if you are trying to do lot of customizations, the conditional if statements, loops, user defines are very important in order to go with the proper customization. So you can practice this. This script is available, please practice it. Don't just copy this. So just understand this topic and execute your own code in a new Jupyter file and send that across to exams@deepak.in. Thank you so much.